All right. Okay, and we are live.
Welcome to Live at Epiphan. This is episode number 93, and we have a really exciting episode for you today.
That's right. It's Thursday. It's 12 p.m. Pacific. This is why we're live. And today we're going to be talking about how to build your ultimate live streaming rig.
Okay, we are live.
And I have a confidence monitor that is informing me that we are indeed live. All right. So thank you so much for joining us. We hope your holidays were wonderful. Phil, how were your holidays?
Oh, I had a great time, Marta. I was in Costa Rica. I caught a lot of sun, ate a lot of good food, and had a really good time with my family.
All right.
How
Yeah,
about
you look tan. That's
I
great.
got a little tan on.
Yeah. Well, I went to Chicago, to Illinois, to visit my parents, and it was cold.
Mm-hmm.
It was 28 degrees. It was below 0 Celsius. I don't like that, and I'm glad to be back here and to start of the year. Yeah. So again, thanks so much for joining us. We have a very exciting update for you. We have just released a new firmware update for the Pearl family. So the Pearl Mini 4.7.0, and it's all about in the integration with Kaltura. So now you can seamlessly use Pearl with Kaltura. You don't have to plug any stream keys anywhere. You just find your Pearl. You can schedule lectures and do everything automatically, basically. There are a few more updates in this firmware, such as international characters for overlays. A lot of people asked about that. So be sure to check it out. If you have a Pearl, definitely upgrade to the new firmware. Also, we're going to have a webinar on January 22nd, all about the Kaltura integration. So all about how to use Pearl with Kaltura. Be sure to sign up for that. We're going to have the link in the description right after the show. And I'm sure it's going to be all over our website. So if you're interested in that, then definitely sign up. And also, we are going to be at ISE in Amsterdam from 5th to the 8th of February. So be sure to stop by our booth, visit us. We're always happy to see visitors. So that's as far as news goes. Let's jump straight into our topic for today.
Right.
So the rig. We actually have the rig built right here, all prepared. And we're going to be talking about all the parts that go into this live streaming rig. So basically, it's a camera that you can take on the road and live stream with it. And we're going to be talking about how that happens. We have another camera that's mobile, that's more, that can show you all the details. But Phil, why don't you get us started? Tell us about this rig. I know you built it.
Yeah, so it's actually a very rudimentary rig. We got it off Amazon for about $60, I believe, maybe even a little less than that. And it's been great. So one thing when I was building this rig that I really had to keep in mind was weight distribution. Now, as you can see, our camera is quite heavy, and
This thing's pretty heavy.
yeah.
I'd say like 30 pounds, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. So this camera actually has a little counterweight at the back, you can see here, which helps balance the camera a little bit, but we've actually added this battery on the back end of it, because the battery is quite heavy in itself, so it actually...
But talk to me about the different parts of it first. So I see the camera. I think the rig itself is actually adjustable, right? So you can fit any kind of camera in here.
Right, so, and you can choose whether you want the camera to be more forward or more back, and we kind of moved it to the back side just because of the weight distribution.
Okay. Then you have your webcaster, which is the device, the encoder, that's going to help you go live. What else do you have on here?
So we also would usually have a LTE hotspot attached to it.
Right.
Now, we don't have it attached right now, and we will go into why that is later on in the episode.
And how would you attach, for example, if you want to attach the hotspot, how would you do that?
Well, so you would probably, you'd stick the hotspot right there, and
In this clamp? Is that like?
Yeah.
Did you
yeah.
get out of
So
Amazon too?
these clamps we did get off Amazon, and they're called newer or small rig, and these have been really great. They're adjustable. You can choose whether you want it, facing which way. You can make it really tight, really loose, and everything. And they're really great, good quality clamps. Quite heavy and quite durable.
I see that we're using the same thing for the webcaster as well.
Mm-hmm.
It has those little rubber like holders, so
so it doesn't
squish.
damage anything.
Yeah, it doesn't damage the webcaster. Okay.
Now,
Sorry, I just noticed that the webcaster doesn't have the antenna.
right.
And it usually has that.
Yeah, so we actually
Why
took
is
it
that?
off because when we go live, we usually want to use an Ethernet connection. That is much more reliable than having to deal with Wi-Fi or anything. So a Ethernet cable would be going directly from the webcaster into a router, which goes into the hotspot.
Okay, I see. So there's no Wi-Fi involved.
Nope, no Wi-Fi involved.
It's just
all
Ethernet.
wired.
You could do it with Wi-Fi if you wanted to.
Yeah, you could.
But Ethernet is just more reliable.
Yeah, it's much more reliable. You don't have to deal with, Wi-Fi.
Yeah, right. So then you have the battery right here with zip ties. This battery is, I'm assuming, to power the webcaster
And to power
the
hotspot.
The hotspot. So this battery, it actually has two outs, so you can power two devices at the same time, which is really convenient. Now you can see that the battery is fully charged. It's well secured with these zip ties. I like that idea. I thought that was really cool. It doesn't add to the weight. As great as the clamps are, and they're wonderful, they add a little bit to the weight of the rig, right?
Yeah.
And it's pretty heavy as it is. Let me try to put it on my shoulder. So this is how you would actually operate the rig.
Yeah.
So this battery, it has to be, for the webcaster to work with it, it has to be at least 3 amps out. That's the optimal power for it to work consistently. Okay, so we have the camera, we have the light up here as well, we have the webcaster, the hotspot that's actually out there. TJ, if you want to zoom in, we're going to be talking about why that hotspot is out there and not on our rig in just a moment. But if you come back, so tell us a little bit more about why you chose to do the rig this way.
Well, actually, so I'm going to talk about the webcaster and the placement of the webcaster. So I actually pointed the screen towards the person operating the camera. That way you have confidence that it is actually streaming. You can see the ticker going up and up, and you can see if there's an error that pops up or anything. So that's why I put the webcaster there. And let me talk about shooting with the rig. So we actually learned a lot from the episode we used this rig in, which was the episode where we went live from the beta store.
That was a complex setup.
It was very complex. Audio was kind of an issue there because we were using a cardioid mic, and it was just a wired mic. So we had to actually be very mindful of the cable, not to trip over it or catch it on anything. And it's quite tricky operating this rig because our cameraman had 2 options. So they were either walking in front of us with their backs to the sidewalks. They were walking backwards and filming us. That is kind of an issue. You're constantly running into people on this busy street. But for the most part, when the camera rig is there, people would actually move out of the way most of the time when they see it.
I'm just wondering if your mic is working. Can you just check real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, it's
it should
working.
be good.
Is everything cool? Okay. I think we still have sound. Let us know in the comments if we still have sound. We are wondering. But let's just continue. So
Yeah.
you were okay. So I remember having to carry the microphone, and it was just really difficult with the really long cord of the microphone.
Yeah. So another way that the cameraman was actually walking was when we were walking backwards. So the cameraman was behind us and filming us, and we were standing at kind of like a 45-degree angle, so we could have our faces be on the camera as well as see the street in front of us.
Yeah, I remember that being very challenging. I know that some people who also build mobile rigs, they just hook up a shotgun microphone straight onto the camera. Makes it a little bit easier. We're actually going to be looking at some nice mobile setups a bit later in the show, and we're going to be seeing what other people are doing. Okay. Do you have anything else that you wanted to mention?
Well, actually, yeah. Let's talk about 5G a little bit, right? So, we were to use a hotspot for this mobile rig setup. That is something that we probably wouldn't have to do in the future. Is that right, Marta?
That's true. Okay, so we actually had a show where we talked a little bit about 5G. So what 5G is like the next generation of cellular internet technology. So right now we have 4G, and 5G is actually promising to be even faster. It's promising to be at least 1 gigabit of speed, but we're going to have to wait a little bit. That's only coming in 2022 for us consumers. There is testing being done right now. AT&T as well as Verizon are testing 5G in Sacramento and in Los Angeles and in Houston, trying to make sure everything works. Now, we're also going to need updated devices. So we're going to need phones that can support 5G and all of that, because it's a new technology, new antennas, all of that. But what it means for live streaming is that hopefully we could go live even in 4K.
Wow.
That would be awesome, wouldn't it? So we wouldn't have to worry about making sure that the bit rate is just there enough for us to slide by. Hopefully that's going to be the scenario. But again, you never know, because even right now, like, we're in the city center, but I know we're experiencing certain difficulties with our internet.
Yeah.
In some rural areas, you can't get internet. So, it all depends on location.
Yeah.
But again, 5G, we're looking forward to it. If we could use 5G to go mobile and have great live streaming, that would be amazing. So let's have a look at some of the other rigs that people built. If we could switch to our laptop right now. And so we have a group on Facebook. We're just going to be looking over here. Hopefully it's also going to switch to the laptop. So we have a group that's actually called the Webcaster X2 group, and it wasn't organized by us. It's just a fan group.
Yeah.
So we're really happy about that. So we have a few stars, I want to say, on this group.
Celebrities.
Yeah, celebrities. So for example, Rattenneck, who has done numerous rigs that are all amazing. We're going to go through those right now. So right now we're looking at one of his masterpieces. Just kidding. Let's see. Okay, so here we are. So for example, he was actually able to glue a horseshoe mount right on to the Webcaster. I know that's a popular feature that people are asking about. Add a horseshoe mount on the Webcaster. Well, he was actually able to hack it and glue it right on there, fix it right on the camera. He also has a Rode microphone right here, I think, is what we're seeing.
And I think that's a little confidence monitor up there.
Ah, yes. So, yes, he's using an HDMI out from the Webcaster to the confidence monitors in order to see what's happening with the camera. So I think that's a very interesting setup. It's very light.
Yeah.
It's very compact. You can tell that this person had some practice with rigging.
Yeah.
It looks good. I think it worked fine for him as well. I think he actually posted one of the live streams. So that would be a really compact scenario. Now, we found that during our episode, we really needed a rig with a weight, because it was a long episode. We wanted the cameraman to be comfortable with the camera, to hold it for a long time. So that's why we built a rig that can rest on your shoulder and relieve the cameraman just a little bit. All right, let's move on to another one. This is also Rattenneck. This is the same setup, actually. So he's just showing it from a different angle. You can see the confidence monitor on top. Then you can see the Webcaster, and then a little battery. So it's half of ours.
Yeah.
If you remember ours is a big Anker battery, And then his is kind of half of that, which is a perfect setup for the webcaster. All right, let's move on to another setup that we have. Oh, this was a fun one. So we actually have a page on our website. In the solutions page, we talked about the Wake Forest Fire Department, who use drones for search and rescue. And so their main pilot, Steve Rode is his name, he was actually able to equip his truck. I unfortunately don't have a picture up here. But he was able to equip the back of his truck with a webcaster. Again, it runs off battery. He has the entire setup over there. He has the hotspot again. And I wish I could show you the picture. We do have some difficulties with our internet that we're going to talk about later.
Yeah.
Which is why, unfortunately, I cannot access these pictures right now. But it's a really, really cool setup. You can look it up online. We have it in Solutions, Saving Lives with Drones, and Webcaster X2. Let's see if we actually have any other ones. Okay, we have this one. Let's talk about this one real quick. So, alrighty. So this setup right here is actually with a larger camera. So we have a more professional camera. You can see on top there's a confidence monitor. Again, a shotgun mic. And this setup is actually on a tripod, right? So you can see the entire tripod structure. You can see there's a nice little shelf there. Perfect for the webcaster, for the battery, and even something else. I can't really tell what that might be. A splitter.
Oh, and they even used rubber bands to secure everything.
Nice.
That's
so everything is
good
nice
solution.
and secure.
Yeah.
These pictures we found on our community forum, which you can visit as well. If you want to learn more about the webcaster or ask questions about the webcaster or just talk to other people who were able to set up their own rigs. So we really like this setup. I think it looks very professional. Green screen, everything. Again, very, very compact, but you have all your pieces there. Oh, you know what that might be? That might be the hotspot, no?
Oh yeah, that does
Could
look like
be.
it actually.
You can also use your phone as a hotspot. Remember that. Might be not as reliable, but that's also something you can do with Wi-Fi.
Right.
All right. Oh, this is also a nice one. I really like this one as well. Also on a tripod, you have all the parts. You have your confidence monitor, your battery down on the right. You have your webcaster. And this person also used a splitter. I think the reason he did that was for confidence monitoring, because you can confidence monitor straight from the webcaster, but there's going to be a slight delay.
Yeah.
If you don't want that, you can split your video signal go into the webcaster, from your camera to the webcaster, and then from your camera through the splitter into your confidence monitor. That's something else you can do. Okay, I like that one. Let's see, do we have anything else? Oh, this is another one. This is another one with a tripod. So, see, there are two different ways to do it. You can do it with a tripod, which is a little bit less mobile, but still, you can move it around. It's very stable. And you can also use it with a rig like we did, that
Right.
you can actually carry around. It's a bit, again, you gotta watch that pavement, as you've mentioned. So if you guys want to have a look at these, you can either go to our community forum. You can find that on our website, or you can also search for the group on Facebook. It's the Webcaster X2 group, and it has people talking about the Webcaster, showing their live streams, how they did, showing their rigs, just all things Webcaster. It's actually really, really rewarding for us to go onto that page and see what people are doing. So keep posting. We're very much, we're always happy to see that.
If you guys have your own mobile setups that you want to show us, please share them to the group.
Oh, please, yes. So going back to the internet question.
Okay.
So again,
Here we
we're
go.
gonna remind you all that we have a hotspot right outside right now. We're actually using the same hotspot to go live right now, and it's quite a challenge. So
Yeah.
Phil, tell us why that is.
So yeah, I mean, there's really two main internet service providers in our area. There's Comcast and there's AT&T, and we have tried working with both of them. Comcast, doesn't have the best customer service, and we've had like a couple of issues with bandwidth going on, which has really been a downer around the office. When people can't access the internet, how are they supposed to work?
It's true.
And AT&T is kind of similar. We signed a contract with them to get their internet service, and they said, yeah, we will be able to install it in 20 days. However, once we sign this contract, suddenly it changes to 3 months. 3 months without internet. What are we going to do?
It's tough.
It's ridiculous.
But we found a solution.
Right. Now, this is great. So we're using that Sprint LTE hotspot, and it's been working for everyone in the office. Everyone has had internet for the most part, and we're actually, as Marta mentioned earlier, we're going live using that hotspot now. Now that just kind of like blows my mind. This is just an LTE hotspot. I ran a couple speed tests before we went live, and we were getting 4 megabit upload speed, which, if you've watched the show before, is just enough for one HD stream. And if you've watched the show before, you know that we go live to YouTube and Facebook. We actually managed to fix that. So we teamed up with our partner, Switchboard Live.
Yeah. We had them over.
We had him over, yeah. We actually had Rudy on the live show a couple weeks ago. And I was on the phone with him earlier this morning, actually just setting up this stream. So we're actually sending one stream to Switchboard, and then they are distributing it for us to YouTube and Facebook.
And we're very thankful for that.
We are very thankful, yeah.
So internet is very important for live streaming, obviously reliable internet. But there's always a way to solve the issue, work around.
Yeah.
So it's a very tricky business, live streaming.
Yeah. And we've come up with this innovative solution. As you notice, it's outside our office now because there's a lot of metal around here, and it kind of traps the signal if we have it inside. So we're actually using those.
DJ, do you want to show the hotspot real quick again?
Those clamps that I was talking about earlier to secure the hotspot, and it's been great. It's been really great. We've been kind of worried that it would get stolen at some point, but
We're keeping an eye on it.
Yeah, and we bring it in at night and everything.
Yeah. So we actually physically had to open this window/door, bring it outside, clamp it on to get a better signal. However, we're still live.
We are live.
Incredibly proud of that, and thank you all for watching and for joining us. We have our colleagues in Ottawa monitoring the live stream and helping us out with comments. We apologize that we haven't been paying that much attention to comments, but I think the Epifan video is doing well. Shout out to Stefan. Thank you so much for watching our show. Every single episode you're there. Quick shout out. And also a quick shout out to Redneck for his amazing mobile setups that have been partially the inspiration for this live show. Keep sending us your setups. Keep sending us ways of how you're using the Webcaster. And thank you so much.
Yeah, a little bit of a short show this week, but we all just got back from vacation.
True.
So thank you very much for joining us. My name is Phil.
And I'm Marta. And we'll see you next week.